that point, I realized it was special because how committed there were so many kids in the program at that point in time, probably 24, 25 kids. And I would say about 20 of them had a chance at playing college. And most of them did by the end of it, if they wanted to. Most of them had an opportunity to play in college too. So I knew it was special right away. You have to show up. You have to compete all the time because you're with other people that are doing that. We call it like the positive peer pressure. One of the kids that I coached, she graduated in 2021. Her dad said that. It's like, it's positive peer pressure. It's like, you might not want to go work out today, but somebody else is, and go work out with them. It's kind of a good thing. Gets you out of bed, gets you motivated in the summer. I think that's really the culture, is being surrounded by other people that really want to work at it and be good at it.
I've never heard you say me. Everything you're saying is about the player and their development, not just as a player, but as a human being. Literally, that's rare. I can see why that people gravitate towards your program.
If I can help one kid not make the stupid decisions that I made around the time I was 17, 18, 19, and it, gets them to a better future, then how cool is that I could be a part of that?
Welcome in, everybody, to this week's episode of Fighting for Overtime. I'm your host, Coach Tony, and as always, bring you the best guests, and I'm honored for this guest, okay? And I got to introduce, because, listen, this is Mike McDonald, the head coach of the Archbishop Wood girls basketball team, known for leading them to multiple state championships since becoming head coach in 2015. Now, 6-time state champ. I had to write this down. Okay, 3-time PCL champ, 11-time district champ, Cardinal Doherty lineage to St. Cecilia's, to Archbishop Ryan, to Chestnut Hill, and now to Archbishop Wood since 2015. I have to say, I'm totally blown away. I should have rolled out the red carpet for you, brother. I appreciate it for you. Listen, this guy's been on ESPN, Sports Illustrated, and he comes a little old Tony's podcast for Fighting for Overtime, brother. I appreciate it, man. How are you?
You having me on.
Oh, man.
Great to be here.
You come from I've been getting people in my ear, man. You got to get Coach Mike on. You got, shout out to Noel Baxter, I got to get Coach Mike on. Shout out Michaela Finnegan, Delaney Finnegan. The lineage goes on, man. But man, you've been doing this since 2015, right?
I've been at Wood actually since 2013, 2014 season as an assistant. I was an assistant for my first 2 years. I actually took over for playoffs in my second year.
Oh, wow.
As the interim, and then became the head coach in 2015.
So it was unexpected.
To be the head coach?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I still remember when they said, you want me to be the head coach? You want me to be? Again, I think I was like 28, 29, something like that. And it was, yeah, so I didn't know if that was what I wanted to do. I just tried to stick with what they already did. And so it worked out.
If I'm correct, and tell me, I was reading, so your dad played basketball and your mom was on a bench as well?
My dad coached.
Okay.
He coached us at St. Cecilia's JV. And,
okay.
He probably coached some Foxrock teams. He played at some point, but my mom was the player.
Wow. Look at that.
The player. She played at St. Joe's and Bishop Shanahan with Muffet McGraw. If you remember her, she was head coach for a long time.
There's a name.
Yeah. So they were roommates and players. Like, I just found a newspaper clipping when they were moving in the attic, and they both had 25 points in the game in high school.
Wow.
So they were good. She's in the Big Five, or the St. Joe's Hall of Fame for women's basketball. So
she's St. Joe's, man.
Yeah,
she's the real deal. She's the OG.
She's the OG. But my dad coached for a long time. He did pretty good too. My mom coached at Doherty for about 11, 12 years, something like that.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. See, this is what we learn about, right? Now, you said it was unexpected. So when you took over at Wood, what was your vision?
Try to just do what they were doing. They won 3 straight state championships back in 2010 to 2012.
Okay.
And I know, again, I was fortunate to coach with Jim Ritchie, who was the coach there for about a decade, and then John Gallagher for 2 years after him.
Okay.
So I learned from, 2 of the guys that built it and were doing a great job, and they taught me a lot. So that was they were probably 2 of the most important seasons that I had as a coach, was learning from them first of how to run a high level program. So, but at that time, no, I was more like, don't screw this up. Don't screw this up. They get in this championship game almost every year. Don't screw this up. So
that's a lot of pressure, man. It is.
And I felt it, especially that first season when I actually took over as head coach. I think I felt it. Probably handled things with under stress. I remember just being more relieved at the end of that first season when we won the championship. It was kind of like I needed just a break. It was almost like I didn't breathe for an entire year. we won the championship, and it was like, all right, I can go breathe somewhere. And,
Finally.
Finally. Yeah. So,
oh man,
that was a lot.
Listen, the pressure mounts, man. Now, was there a defining moment possibly when you said you realized, you know what, I'm getting past these first couple years, this could be something special?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was special right away. I thought it was a lot, but after that first championship and then the second one, we actually lost a few kids in between to transfers, and it was kind of like,
oh wow,
I can't believe it. Felt like it was like the best thing that happened. Lost some kids, and then but that next year even more. Like some of those kids played with a chip on their shoulder. It wasn't as the talent level. We weren't scoring a ton of points, and they managed to get another state championship back to back the next year. So. But at that point, I realized, it was special because how committed there was so many kids in the program at that point in time, probably 24, 25 kids. And I would say about 20 of them had a chance of playing college, as they were working and competing. And most of them did by the end of it. If they wanted to, most of them had an opportunity to play in college too. So I knew it was special right away.
So with that, you say 24, 20 kids. Talent development, right, is a huge thing. So how do you balance talent development while you're also building that right culture?
I think it's one and the same. I think we do a lot of work in the off season. We open gyms, as Noel will tell you, they're optional.
They're optional. Let's see that word optional.
Oh, they are. They're optional, but that's what I mean about the culture. Those kids are committed. And they want to play in college, or they want to be really good, and or they're surrounded by other people that are really good. So they know if they want to play and they want to be a part of it on the court, you have to show up. You have to compete all the time because you're with other people that are doing that. And that's the beauty. We call it like the positive peer pressure. One of the kids that I coached, she graduated in 2021. Her dad said that. It's like, it's positive peer pressure. It's like, you might not want to go work out today, but somebody else is, and go work out with them. It's kind of a good thing. Gets you out of bed, gets you motivated in the summer. I think that's really the culture, is being surrounded by other people that really want to work at it and be good at it. Because as we all know, teenagers don't always want to work at things.
You'll be there one day when you have one of your own.
I was there as a teenager.
You were there, right? You were there. We were all there, man.
So it's good to have like-minded people around you.
Oh, definitely. I like that. PPP. I like that. Now, every new year, obviously, you're going to bring in a different group, different personalities. Obviously, you had that championship culture built. How do you maintain that with all these different personalities?
Well, you hope that the upperclassmen that grow into those leadership roles, and that's what we've been blessed with. Like, you had Noelle on here. She was one of the best. But we've been blessed with really great upperclassmen that have gone through the process and understand it. And they're really good about helping the younger kids. And the younger kids, they know it before they get there, I think. Like, this is just a chance to be really good at something, to possibly play for a championship. And they see the other girls, and that they're now playing with girls that they were watching while they were in 7th and 8th grade, that are now juniors and seniors, that they were probably like in awe of. And now they're like, oh, I have to practice against these kids. Like, I have competing against these kids, and I think, again, that's part of the positive experience that you see.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's one thing. You already have the program in place. So, when you're going to Wood, when you want to go to Wood, you know the lineage. It's there. Right. It's not hidden. Right. It's not like you're going and saying, well, I hope we're going to be good. That the expectation is to be good. Now, I know something about you say you're a Nike Elite program.
Yes.
What's that?
So we're sponsored by Nike.
That's awesome.
It's not like we get a discount on the retail stuff.
Does anybody?
Nah. So yeah, that helps too. I'm sure. It's like, hey, come in. We're sponsored by Nike. I think it's still one of only 200 high schools total in the country that includes boys and girls.
Wow.
They sent that out a few years ago, so I don't know what the exact number is, but it's somewhere close to that. I think only about 50 of them were girls at the time, so I don't know what that total is now. But it's a limited.
That's impressive.
It's a limited thing, and again, that started about a year or two before I got to Wood. So to be able to keep that going, and it's been great. Nike's been really great to us, and it's relationships. They're great people. They really empower the girls, so it's been a lot of fun working with them too. But But all that is, we win a lot and they appreciate it. And that's why you see is you'll never see me in any other brand other than Nike.
Wait, I better, am I on video with my answers on? I better be careful, man.
That clip. Yeah.
Yeah, people are listening to this. No clips for this one. No clips for this one. Nah, man. Listen again. We're talking to head coach Mike McDonald, the girls basketball team at Archbishop Wood Varsity Girls. Numerous championships that we got into earlier. Now, speaking of championships, when you strive to be a champion and you already have that culture, that word burnout is synonymous. We hear about it all the time. Youth sports burnout, coaches get burnout, parents get burnout. I want to focus on you for a minute because you are a father, you're a husband, and it's a big commitment. Have you ever had your battle or even said, I need to slow down or I might be burnout myself?
Every year. So it's every year. I was just talking about this at our golf outing with some of the parents. I said, I wanted to quit after my first season. And actually my mom was an administrator because you can't quit. It's your first year. They just hired you. You can't quit. But that's what, at the end of every season, it's a long season, especially if you make it to the state championship game. It's a long year. And again, it is a commitment. So afterwards, you just I don't think I can get back in that gym right now, but you get back in and then the next thing you know, you get rolling and fall comes and then you get excited about the fall and then you're excited about the season. So, but yeah, every year I kind of look at it can I keep doing this? But now with my daughter, there's different challenges and you start to feel like,
oh yeah,
you're not home with her at times, but
oh yeah, no, listen, and I would give it a quick shout out to your wife because I know you wouldn't be able to do that with her support because you're probably never home, driving her nuts, right? So I already know. So shout out to Mrs. McDonald for dealing with that. All right,
Saint Julia, we call her Saint Julia. I should have thanked her first. That should have been the first thing out of my mouth.
I took care of you, man. That's all about.
When I get home, you can't do it without a supportive wife. She's incredible. She's incredible to my daughter and she's incredible to me. And, again, she's part of our Wood family too. She loves the girls, gets to know them, comes to support, she's a huge fan. When I come home and I'm negative, she's like, maybe they just need a little positivity, that kind of thing. So she gives me balance that way, whether I want to hear it or not.
So she's kind of like the secret advocate behind the scenes, man. I like this.
She's it.
We're learning, man. We're learning here.
It. Yeah.
I love it, man. I love it. Now, you mentioned about earlier off record, we were talking about kids playing all year round, right? So with that, how do you keep these players fresh and still with that kind of that burnout, image in your mind? Like, how do we continue to keep them fresh, energetic, and on a level path?
Yeah, we actually do. For as much as we do less than we used to from when I started.
Oh, wow.
With that in mind.
Okay.
That and AAU has really taken a step up, I think, in how long they go. And just about all, if not all our kids, over the last 7, 8, 9 years have all played AAU. So it's kind of like we don't do anything in July.
Okay.
We have a camp for grade school kids in August for a week. But outside of that, we don't really do anything in August. So that's 2 whole months. We used to do some in July, playing a summer league, things like that. We don't really touch those 2 months. And June, there's a live period, but we go twice a week in June, May and June.
Okay.
And then we play in that live period now in the NCAA period. And then in the fall, we go, 2 times a week. And then we might play in a fall showcase, 4 or 5 of those. But we actually did less this fall. I think we're playing in 4 total. So we've taken a little break, and then I give them purposeful breaks, where other schools might run open gyms into the tryouts. When we hit November, we give them a 2-week off period that way. So then it's like a reset for when the actual season is coming in. But it's always on my mind. There's practices you can almost feel it with the team.
I was just going to ask you that. Okay.
And you go into practice, you know what, guys, you want to just go get some lunch instead? And I think they appreciate it. I've heard a lot of feedback on that. I love when he
Chipotle.
just takes the lunch. We actually used to go to Crafty's Brick House.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's
10 different names now. I don't even know what it is anymore.
Yeah, I don't know what it is right now, but we used to go there because they had the big picnic table.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. Yep. I remember that.
But and again, it varies, I think, from player to player and what and how they're perceiving what's going on. Not everybody wants to push themselves to play in college.
Good point.
The kids that want to push themselves to play in college kind of see it. Like, I know this is what I have to do because I want to get there. But there's still high school kids that can still be pretty good high school players that might not necessarily want to do all that. And that's where I think over the last couple of years, I'm trying to find a way to kind of keep them included and still have them reach our standards of what we need every day, but also kind of find a way to keep the balance for them and make it a little more fun.
No, I love it because, I think number one, lunch thing, just that creates so much of a team bonding aspect. That sometimes you remember that stuff more than you remember a game that you played, right?
Always.
I mean, I remember that stuff,
Yeah.
but you just said balance. Now, how about for parents? Like, do you give advice to parents about how to maintain balance?
I try to.
Right, that's all.
I try to. I try to communicate some things, generally speaking, if it gets to a certain point, I have had conversations like, I don't think this is helping, sort of thing, but it's tough. They're tough conversations depending on how it's going, but
never easy.
It's never easy. I do think I try to get a feel for the player. If the parent's really hard on them, it's hard to be hard on that player at practice a lot because that they're already getting it all the time when they go home and they get in the car. And to be fair, I think that takes away from my ability to coach them to where I need to coach them still, I think you have to find that balance for me to kind of say, this kid's already getting it really hard. They need
positive reinforcement.
They need a little positive reinforcement right now because of how hard they're getting it all the time. Especially now with in the world of scholarships, there's a lot of parents I think are focused on that. And
yes.
It adds stress. It adds unnecessary stress to the player, I think. And that's my job to kind of feel that out and find a different approach. But
listen, I commend you for even saying that because some coaches won't even talk about that because it is, and some of it's indirect. I never even just, it's one thing when I started this podcast was some of the stuff is an indirect feel that you can't control, right? As a parent, you feel the outside noise, you feel that pressure. Like, if these two are over here talking about it, you're going, oh my God, like, am I missing this? And now all of a sudden you start stressing out,
Right.
So that does happen. Now, every program faces adversity, right? And that can come in all kinds, whether it's injuries, losses, off the court challenges. How do you teach your players to respond?
Just keep showing up and sticking to routine. I think just circling all the way back to when I took over my second year as an assistant, I remember it was like, what do you do? Well, we're just going to keep showing up and doing what we were doing before. It worked for so long. We're going to keep doing what we're doing before. The biggest form of adversity that I can remember, speaking of the Well Baxter, is that COVID year returning.
Yes.
That was probably the most heartfelt I felt for players more than anything else. It was like at any point in time, these seniors, their season could be shut down right now. And I mean, the post year, we already had seniors have their season shut down in 2020, but that next year coming back, they're wearing masks while playing. Like they're like pulling down masks, not able to breathe. They're trying to get through the season where like, if you play a team that is contacted by COVID, you could possibly have your game shut down the next day. So the stress for them of wanting to get through that season, you could feel it all year round. That was one of the most special seasons of my life. Not because we were able to winning this championship that year was incredible because you saw what they were going through, but just getting through the season and seeing them, it was special. And again, that was a pretty great group of seniors and that team was pretty great. But to power through and with the angst of not knowing if this is going to end any day and how much they care.
That was rough.
Last year. It was rough. So I really felt for the kids that year. But that was that was tough. That was a tough one to get through. And I was really, I
remember
really happy.
I was coach at that time and it was just, even from an outdoor perspective, I remember like with the sideline rules and everybody had to switch. Like it was just absolutely bananas. And it was so hard for the kids. It was like, how do we just get these kids to continue to have fun? Because they were miserable. They couldn't play the way they wanted to play. It was a really, really tough year. Now, when your players graduate, okay, we're going to fast forward a little bit because one thing I've learned about you is you aspire to create the entire athlete as a whole, right? So when they graduate, what do you hope they take with them beyond the game, beyond the championship, beyond the wins, beyond the game? What do you hope they take with them?
Just the accountability is probably the most important thing. Like you have to show up on time to things. You have to to be there. You have the best ability is availability.
I love
that's
that.
going to be there for your job. It's going to be there for your family. And I think what you can accomplish when you get together with like-minded people and you put a lot of work in it, and then if you can find your purpose for that in life, you're going to do great things. If you can put that work ethic and teamwork into your family, your family's going to do well. You're going to bond. You're going to come together. So that's the most important thing is they're taking those things and they're realizing how they can apply to life. And we try to talk about that from time to time, especially at the end of the year. We've talked about how like win the championship, lose the championship. It's typically the same process along the way. You just didn't make a basket here or you turned it over here, which is really doesn't matter. In 5 years, that's not going to matter anyway. Yeah. But
right.
If you realize that process that you got to those points, that's the teamwork, that's the work ethic, that's the commitment, and then you just have to find what you're willing to put that work into when you graduate.
Listen, I love it. I'm going to be honest with you, man. Like I've had conversations with a lot of coaches and your accolades speak for themselves. And I know you're a modest guy. It's not you're on here going championship after championship after championship, right? But you're so grounded. Like I'm listening to your like everything. It's not about like I've never heard you say me. Like everything what you're saying is about the player and their development, not just as a player, but as a human being.
Right.
That's rare. I'm not saying that, but literally that's rare. I can see why that people gravitate towards your program.
Well, thank you.
No, I'm serious. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. I mean, it's important. I was raised by grounded people, raised by people to you better get over you got to get over it. Life doesn't revolve around you, which I think, a lot of society could.
We know all about that.
We could need to hear that a little bit more, but, that's the way I was raised. And then I made a lot of stupid decisions when I was young, which is kind of
haven't we all?
One of the, obviously I love basketball and
right.
my mom coached, my parents coached. So that was part of why I was around the game all the time and got into coaching. But there was a part that was like, if I can help one kid not make the stupid decisions that I made around the time I was 17, 18, 19, and it, gets them to a better future, then how cool is that I could be a part of that? So
that's great, man. I love it. Now you've been since head coach since 2015.
Head coach, yeah, 15-16 season was my first year.
So over the last 10 years, if you could put a stamp on kind of how the game has evolved, what would you say? If at all?
No,
maybe for you, it's not as drastic as some people may think.
No, I think it is. I think there's overtraining. I think there's a part of me that wishes I had some of the individual training that these kids go to. I didn't focus on. And part of that is I also played soccer, and maybe the other kids on my team were doing some.
While you were playing soccer,
well, I was playing soccer during those months, but just some of the footwork things, little things like that. But I think there's so much time spent with no defense and things like that. There's a little bit of a feel lost with some of the kids. Not all of them. They're still kids, but I felt like 10 years ago, there was more kids in the gym that kind of had a feel of how to play, played off instincts.
Okay.
I can't really pinpoint one thing or the other. I think the training is important. And again, like I said, I wish I had some of it, but I think to a certain extent, they're spending so much time doing moves on a cone that they may never do in a game. I think it's finding what you're going to be able to do, especially once you get to high school. I think when you're younger, maybe you can work on some things and maybe that's the way you start to grow and you learn how to move in a certain way. And then when you get to high school, but once you're in high school, I think you can especially girls, because they typically are done growing by the time they get there. It's like, you're going to be able to do certain things or you're not. And you need to focus on which things you're going to be able to do in games at that point and master them. I don't know. Other than that, game still feels pretty similar. Unfortunately, I think you're seeing the numbers across the country for girls, especially, are down.
Really?
There's a lot of, I think the popularity with the professional sport is growing, but the numbers are
see, I would have not thought that.
Yeah. There's high school teams across the country struggling to have form JV teams, but you can research, there's people researching it and you can find the numbers. They're going down. And I think one, specialized, that's every sport, they're becoming specialized. But two, I think the cost of the club and club basketball is another thing. It's a tough sport to play if you're not focused in on it because it's such a skilled sport. And there's only 5 kids on the court. So
true.
You can stand out. If you're not as good as other kids, it's easy to stand out in a negative way. So that could be another thing. I don't know. I'm not the expert. I don't spend a ton of time studying it, but I've been involved in it enough to So my hope is the numbers of participation start to go up and not just the popularity of.
Yeah, I would have thought that it would have been one with the same. You know, you would thought like WNBA's thriving and everybody, you would think more and more want to come out. You know,
Yeah.
That's amazing. I didn't know that.
I think the level's going up, but
Okay.
participation.
So do you think, so would you say over the last few years, like players that come to you, even as a freshman, are more farther along in their development than they were, say, 5 years ago? Or are you kind of about the same?
About the same.
Okay.
About the same. We just don't have 25 kids anymore that are
Right.
at that level.
Right.
Which is fine, but it's that's the only difference. But no, they're about the same. I think that, we're very fortunate that typically we get some kids that like, I'm pretty good now and I want to go somewhere where I'm going to keep getting better. So we're very fortunate in that aspect that I get to coach a lot of kids that are kind of on their way of being really good.
That's gotta be a great feeling, man. It's gotta be a great feeling. Like I've been to the gym, you go in there, you just see whenever you walk in somewhere and see the banners hanging up. It's like you gotta feel a certain way, man. You gotta feel, you know what I mean? Like that's if you're in Philadelphia. We're not used to all these banners, you know what I'm saying? So
we've had a few in my lifetime that
we had, you know, but like we're living through you, Coach Mike. Okay. We're living through your championships, brother. How's that? I want to do a little fast break fun with you here, man. The little 3-question thing, and I'll put you on the spot. What's your favorite pregame quote?
The one I use the most is probably to just play for the person next to you, and that's basically. And I kind of elaborate while I'm talking to them, but it's basically just to remind them that if they focus on making the person next to them better as a team, you're more likely to play better. That time you're driving and a kid helps and you kick it to them, that person the next time is going to kick it to you. You focus on that and everybody's playing good basketball. One game you might end up with more shots. Next game you might end up with more shots, but there's not going to be that. Well, now I'm going to drive into 2 people because you didn't pass it to me. And it relieves a little pressure on you thinking you have to go out there and I have to do so much. Just make the person next to you better and things will work out.
It's really a simple logic.
Very simple. Very simple, but we say it all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure. Sometimes simple isn't really simple. It's simple to us. Okay. It's simple to one thing every young athlete should stop doing. I
kind of mentioned the overtraining. I don't think they should stop training, but I think they should focus, find more game-like things that they should be working on. Starting with shot making. It sounds silly, but be able to make wide open shots first and foremost. Master that, and then add pull-ups, 1 to 2 dribble pull-ups, 1 to 2 dribble drives, and stop with all the other stuff in between until you can master those things. Because at the highest level, if that's what you're trying to get to, that's where the game is played. You need to be efficient.
I like it. Now, what about on the other end? One thing every coach should start doing. Oh, that's there. I'm putting you on the spot a little bit here, man.
I don't know. Every coach is different,
right?
You know, I'm different than every coach. So for me, I just always, remember your why you're doing it. I think that's important.
I like it. Now this will be fun because I got to ask you. You see in the background, this might not be on a promo clip that I throw, but you see the jerseys hanging. So, are you a Michael or are you a LeBron guy?
It's Michael.
Oh,
it's not even close. I'm a fan. I don't dislike LeBron, but it's Michael all day. All day. I don't even think it's. I don't even think that's a close question.
I don't. So when you hear the girls talk, right? You hear the kids of today talk. All right, you hear more like LeBron talk, or because I feel like it's kind of shifting a little bit to Michael.
Well, back to Michael.
Yeah. I do. I can feel the shift.
It's almost like LeBron stayed too long now.
That's what I think. What's happening?
Yeah, maybe.
That's what I think. What's happening?
Maybe. I think LeBron's incredible. I think.
Oh, me too.
I think you put other guys around him and he makes them better for sure. He elevates everybody because of the way he plays and his IQ. But game on a line, I just think he was dominant. Michael Jordan was dominant, and
that's what I always say. It's like I know over time. Is he 40 now? LeBron?
Yeah, he's about my age, right? 41. He was something like that.
And I feel like he's going to play for like another 2 years. Right? It's crazy. It's like. I mean, look, God bless him. I wish he looks better than I did when I was 20. You know what I mean? So,
that's without a doubt. Yeah, wow. He's incredible. I don't mean it, but
no, I'm with you.
It was Michael Jordan was also like big time in my childhood of wanting to play basketball. I thought I was going to someday.
We all want to be like Mike
from the foul line and dunk, and
I had a remember the Jordan Jammers?
Sure.
I had a Jordan Jammer. Yeah, just I just show my age, right? So I grew up in Wisconsin, so we had an alleyway. Yeah, people in the suburbs, we had an alleyway, and we had 2 Jordan Jammers. We were running full court Jordan Jammer games. We were doing Wheaties, dunks, and everything, man. Like we all wanted to be like Mike.
Yeah,
I don't see people going, I want to be like LeBron. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't see that.
No,
Not from that aspect. Right, not from that aspect, but no. Right. All kidding aside, the guy does an unbelievable job in his community. He does an unbelievable job for kids. So I'll never take that away. I always say that I'll never take anything away from LeBron the person. I'm just not a LeBron fan of the player because I'm a Mike guy. I feel like I'm a traitor if I do. You know,
I'm just Michael Jordan. Any argument you want to argue that anytime you want, but I'm Michael Jordan. That's it.
I'm just Mike, man. I'm just Mike. Now, today's basketball thing, man. I got to ask you. Well, like you look at the Philadelphia 76ers and you look at the way they're built and you look at Joel Embiid, man. Like, can you foresee a path to where we say this guy can still carry a team to a championship?
There's nothing from last year that says it. Obviously, without him out there,
I guess it's like a question. Like, I feel bad because I feel like he was so dominant. I feel like he's just been breaking down.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously a team guy, and I just feel like, and the NBA's a little different. They're like, they attack the mismatch. But I just think there's like the way the Warriors were, they had incredible players when they went on a stretch. The same thing with the Spurs when in that run of championships, they had incredible players, but they just moved the basketball. Everybody's in rhythm. So now at any point in time, the next player's in rhythm hitting a shot. And I just think that's what makes a championship team. So
I agree.
I don't see that with these Sixers teams.
I agree. I agree.
The Harden thing was a little strange. I think this is strange.
I think they were just trying so hard because I think they saw.
Yeah.
We only have, Father Time is undefeated, right? So we just, big man with that ability, eventually, like, I don't know how long it's going to last.
Right.
But you bring out that Spurs team, man. Everybody can hit shots. Ginobili, Tony Parker, everybody was hitting shots. Didn't matter.
Right.
And you go way back to the Sean Elliott days and the Big Shot Bob days, right? So, I'm with you. Where can people follow the program or catch a game this season, Coach Mike?
You can catch us at Wood. We play 6 home games this season, but not until January.
Okay.
We go to Florida, Virginia 2 times in December.
Ooh.
And we go to Brooklyn in January. A couple spots like that, but come January, we'll play PCL games in the area and at home. So it should be pretty competitive this year. A lot of the usuals are at the top of the league, and we'll be competing for a championship again. And then always follow us on Instagram, Wood Girls B-Ball on Instagram, on Facebook, Twitter or X, whatever it's called now.
I don't know what it's called anymore, man.
Yeah, we're on there. So
I don't know what it's called anymore.
Follow us there. I mean, we post a lot of stuff to try to promote the program and the girls. So,
and it'll all be in the description for anybody listening to this podcast. All you do is click on, it'll be a clickable link. You can go right to all their socials and you have a website as well, right?
woodgirlsbasketball.com.
So that'll be on there as well. Now, if you could give, as we close out, one message to young coaches out there trying to build something special, what would it be?
Just be all in. Just be passionate about it. If you don't love it, I wouldn't do it at all, because it'll get to you. You have to love it. And I think make sure you have a great supporting cast to ask people questions. Maybe find coaches that you might feel are a little bit smarter than you around you, especially in your starting days. I was very fortunate to have some really good assistants. And as I mentioned, my 2 predecessors. So if you're looking to do something big, make sure you have people that know what they're doing, and don't be afraid of having smarter people around you, but be all in, be passionate about it. And most important thing is just love the kids most. Love them most.
Love them most. Be all in. On that note, man, I really appreciate it. Hopefully we can get you back on when you win the next championship this year. How's that? Right? We're going to win the next championship. We're going to be right here, man. Exclusive right here. But as always, Coach Mike, I really appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
Man, I can't wait to play this back. I hope everybody continue to follow, like, subscribe. Make sure you follow the Wood Girls basketball program. I know I'm going to go to a couple games this year. It's not far from me. I've been there for some amazing games because I got to watch my girl Michaela play too. So with that note, that note, signing out, everybody. Again, remember, it's about memories of moments. Stay safe and stay healthy, and we'll catch you back here next time. Fighting for Overtime is a Rise and React media production. If you're looking to start a podcast, if you're looking to get some direction, hit us up, let us know. We'll help you out there as well. Again, for everybody, enjoy your time, memories of moments, and keep fighting that fight. Continue to fight in overtime to make your kid have the best experience that they can have when it comes to playing youth sports.